What is up, enthusiasts? It is Cedar Flags here, and welcome back to another one of my videos. So in the past, I've talked about the best states to live in to be a coaster enthusiast, but today I'm going to talk about cities instead of states. I know there's a lot of debate what to call a major US city, but in this case, I just decided to put 10 recognizable US cities in this list, just so there wouldn't be any confusion in the end. I rank these US cities based on a few factors. The first factor is if there's a major amusement park near the city or even within the city limits, and then the factor if there's a bunch of coaster enthusiasts nearby that you can connect to, as well as surrounding amusement parks in nearby cities. But anyway, I put together 10 of these major cities, and in my personal opinion, these are the 10 best cities to be an enthusiast. Even if your city is only number 10 or number 9, please consider yourself extremely lucky because there are many enthusiasts that would love to be in your spot. But anyway, let's start with number 10, which I truly believe is Tampa, Florida, or the surrounding Tampa Bay area. Now, of course, we have Busch Gardens Tampa here, which is the basic home park for all of Tampa. But the real thing that puts this high up on the list is the fact that it's within driving distance of the one and only Orlando, Florida, which I got to admit will be much, much higher on this list. But Busch Gardens Tampa, in its own merit, is an absolutely incredible park, and what I would like to call one of the best amusement parks in the United States. This place also has a massive coaster community, so in Tampa you'll find a bunch of other people with similar interests, and of course, a roller coaster within a day's drive. At number 9, we have Philadelphia. Now, I really was debating putting this one on the list for the simple reason that they don't have an amusement park within the city's boundaries. But at the same time, the real reason this is put up all the way up here is because of the many surrounding amusement parks and surrounding areas. We got Six Flags Great Adventure, Six Flags America, Dorney Park, Knoebels, Hershey Park, all within a day's drive, as well as the new American Dream, Coney Island's Luna Park, and many New Jersey boardwalk parks. And so while Philadelphia coaster enthusiasts don't have a park to claim their own, they have a bunch of amusement parks to choose from if they seek some credits in the near future. At number 8, we have the Big Apple itself, New York City, the largest city in the United States by population, and of course, one of the best cities in the United States to be an enthusiast. When it comes to home parks in the area, you have Rye Playland, Coney Island's Luna Park, and the new Nickelodeon universe at American Dream. A lot of those parks were accessible if you lived in Philadelphia, but in New York, they are extremely close by and within the area. So that's why I put New York City above Philadelphia. There are other surrounding parks too. If you want to make a voyage, you can go to Darien Lake, all of the parks I mentioned with Philadelphia, and maybe even go down south to see some of those boardwalk parks in New Jersey within a day's drive. Number 7 was easily my most controversial pick. I was really debating on putting this much, much higher, but I decided to put Cincinnati at number 7. Cincinnati, Ohio might not have the biggest collection of nearby parks, but the main reason this is up in the top 10 is because of the massive coaster community in Cincinnati. Most of the major enthusiasts' accounts are in Cincinnati. If you're watching this right now, there's a good chance that you are in the Cincinnati area. Well, when it comes to parks at least, there's Kings Island, Shickler's Grove, which is only open at a certain point in the year, but surrounding parks include Kentucky Kingdom, Beach Bend, Holiday World, and even Cedar Point or Indiana Beach if you want to go on a drive. Anyway, Cincinnati's a really good city. Kings Island is a phenomenal home park, and of course, those surrounding parks are extremely incredible and have a lot of variety as well. At number 6, we had a city that I was struggling to put on this list, but I ended up putting Richmond, Virginia at number 6. One of the smaller cities on this list, still a major city in the United States, and home to some amazing theme parks nearby. If you live in Richmond, Virginia, you live right in between King's Dominion, which is Richmond's home park, as well as the one and the only Busch Gardens Williamsburg. And while Busch Gardens Williamsburg is more in the Newport News area, it's still a good drive. But anyway, King's Dominion is still a really good place to call a home park, and that's barring all of the surrounding parks near the Philadelphia parks if you just go a little more north. But anyway, in the end, Richmond is a phenomenal city to share that passion of roller coasters with. At number 5, right in the middle, we have San Antonio in Texas. And this is what's cool about this city. There aren't a lot of surrounding amusement parks if you go outside of the city, but at the same time, within the city's areas, you have Six Flags Fiesta Texas and SeaWorld San Antonio, And not many American cities can claim two major theme parks within the same area. If you're a water park fan, there's also Schlitterbahn in New Braunfels, which is just a short drive away. But anyway, if you're an enthusiast, San Antonio is a great place to call home. At number 4, we have Kentucky's largest city, Louisville. So Louisville was originally going to be lower than Cincinnati, but really when I thought about it, Louisville has it going. First of all, like Cincinnati, Louisville has a massive collection of coaster enthusiasts in the area, as well as some great amusement parks. Of course, there's Kentucky Kingdom right next to the airport, which is a major tourist attraction and a pretty good staple for the state of Kentucky as a whole. It is right in the center of the city, so if you want to go ride some coasters and you live in Louisville, it's not going to be that far of a drive, most likely. Nearby, there's also Holiday World, Indiana Beach, Beach Bend, Kings Island, and other parks even farther, but at the same time, that's a pretty good collection to have near you in a day's drive. And if you want to go to Kentucky Kingdom, you could just keep going. Now, we have finally made the top 3, and at the number 3 spot, we have San Francisco, or more specifically, the San Francisco Bay Area. Basically, if you live in a surrounding city near San Francisco, this counts for you as well. The two major theme parks within this area are, of course, Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, home of the top coasters Medusa and the Joker. And then you have, of course, California's Great America, which is home to Railblazer. So these two parks aren't the biggest, but at the same time you also have Gilroy Gardens for a more family-friendly aspect. But anyway, this area definitely has a lot for the area that it's in. Coming in at the number 2 spot is, of course, Orlando, Florida. Now I know 2 and 1 could be switched off, but I put Orlando as the number 2 city just because I feel like number 1 has more to offer for the average coaster enthusiast. That saying, if you're more into theme parks, Orlando is your city. When it comes to theme parks, you have 4 Disney parks, 1 SeaWorld park, 2 Universal parks, and 2 Fun Spot parks, as well as other smaller surrounding parks. If you want more of a thrill, you can go southwest down to Tampa, our number 10 city, to go ride Iron Gwazi, Kumba, SheiKra, Cheetah Hunt, and other coasters that headline the park. But anyway, Orlando is an absolutely massive city, and when it comes to the collection of coaster enthusiasts there, it's got one of the biggest in the country. Adding on to the IAAPA convention that is held at the Orlando Convention Center every year, they have a lot of stuff going on down there, amusement park related, and it truly is the very definition of a tourist town. So if you like your attractions, go down to Orlando. But anyway, I decided to put one city over Orlando because if you are a true coaster enthusiast, I truly feel like you would prefer this city more than Orlando. And that city is Los Angeles, California. Los Angeles is the second largest city in the United States and known for many things like the Santa Monica Pier, Hollywood, and many other surrounding areas. But when you look at its amusement park collection, it is insane. The biggest park there is, of course, Six Flags Magic Mountain, which has the highest coaster collection on Earth. And then there's, of course, Knott's Berry Farm in Anaheim, which is another major park, one of the best Cedar Fair parks out there, with Accelerator and Hang Time. And then in Anaheim as well is Disneyland with 2 parks, Disneyland and Disney's California Adventure. If you go down a little south, you'll get another SeaWorld park, which is of course SeaWorld San Diego down in, well, San Diego. And finally, there are many other smaller parks like Adventure City, and of course there is a Universal park there as well. Los Angeles truly has it all for the theme park enthusiast and the coaster enthusiast, and with a big population, plus a bunch of amusement parks, applies a pretty massive coaster community within the city. Popular YouTubers like Airtime Thrills reside in the Los Angeles area, and it is near the NorCal area as well if you want to travel up there to ride some of the coasters in our number 3 spot. But anyway, that is my video. I really hope you enjoyed. This was just my opinion. If I left out any other cities, just let me know in the comments below. But anyway, thank you so much for tuning in once again. This is Cedar Flags, and I will see you all later.